Hello everyone. So in this session we will see how we can create a pipeline based job in our Jenkins and we will try to execute that, right? So let's get started. So again we are on the same screen, whatever we already have or we already left in our previous session. And now if I just go to this new item, and here what we need to do is we need to just specify some name. So I can say that as I just wanted to run my Selenium grid project on top of this, so I can say that Selenium hyphen grid hyphen PIPE pipeline, right? And this time we need to select the option called pipeline, not freestyle. Okay, and now we can click on this OK. So once we get into this specific configuration page, here we do not need to as such mention anything until and unless we actually need certain customizations. So instead of doing that, we just wanted to focus in this pipeline segment. So here folks, you can see that the definition, there is a drop down and it is saying like pipeline script. So there is two things. One is declarative or external pipeline. Second thing is your internal pipeline. So in the internal pipeline, whatever Groovy scripting we have actually written in our Jenkins file, the same thing we can actually define within this editor. Okay, the purpose is actually same, but the concept, like the purpose why we are creating an additional Jenkins file, because that is more flexible. If tomorrow something comes new, we can easily accommodate with that. That's the reason. So as we are going to fetch the Jenkins file from our specific project repository, so to do that we need to specify it. So we can select the pipeline script from SCM, that is source code management, and then we can see it is asking that on which SCM we just wanted to pull our Jenkins file. So this is the get, right? And now we need to specify our repository. So I just wanted to copy this specific repository URL from here. Going back, this is my repository and the branch name for my case is main, not the master. And here if you see that my Jenkins file is actually here within this pipeline folder. So that is something we need to mention it very carefully, right? Otherwise Jenkins won't be able to fetch Jenkins file, folks, right? So dot slash pipeline slash Jenkins file, because pipeline is a directory which basically comes within the root folder. That's the reason dot slash, right? So we are good to go. All the things already been mentioned in our Jenkins file. Now if we just click on the apply and then save, as you can see that we already like this page is already been appeared, and from here we can directly click on the build now. So, but before going into this, I just wanted to show you that where our execution, like how our execution going to perform, because obviously our execution going to perform within the Jenkins. But see, the project whatever we are targeted to execute, that's a Selenium based UI automation script execution, test automation, and there we have targeted to execute our script on SeleniumGrid, right? So just for your information related to this detailed video that how we can set up the SeleniumGrid and all, I have another video which I will mention the link on the description. You can check it out. So this is the SeleniumGrid, folks, which I already have like started, and currently you can see that there is no such sessions are currently going on. The expectation is once we start our pipeline job, what will happen, Jenkins will pull down all those things, and whatever the command we actually mentioned over here, that gonna be triggered, and based upon our code whatever you already mentioned in this specific script, our session has to be assigned here because our grid is already up and running, right? So now if I go back to this in this screen and click on the build now, you can see that build is already started. Just to check the status, we can actually get into this build, go to the console output, and you can see my build is actually started. This is my username, and this is trying to fetch the pipeline file, and pipeline is also started. Yeah, so this is called declarative checkout, and some configuration is being happening. So this is the clone operation is being happen, folks. Now we can see that our stage is called clone, that is being executing now, right? And we are executing the shell command. Now it is taking the maven version, and you can see this is the maven version that currently we are basically having. So there actually you can face some issue if maven is already not been downloaded in your system, in your Docker container specifically. Now it is basically installing and all those dependencies and making our project build ready. Keep on downloading this and it will start our test very soon, whatever the script we have actually mapped. And it is configuring the project. Just wait for some time, it will start. Yeah, now you can see tests are already been picked up, which is a good thing. And currently my test is actually running on parallel, so two tests has been picked up, which ideally should run on the Chrome browser. Now if I go back to the SeleniumGrid, you can see, folks, initially this session was empty, but now this session is actually having two browser on parallel mode, and this is also running. That means our Jenkins file is working as expected, and our SeleniumGrid is also up and running, and all the nodes are already been associated with our SeleniumGrid. That is our expected behavior. And now you can see that our build is actually succeeded, right? Now if I, and also one more thing, if you remember, like we have actually defined the clean ws thing here, right? So for that reason it is saying like deleting the project and default wipeout in used. That means once my test and whatever the code, it not just associated with your test, it can be any deployable file or anything, that entire project is actually execution done. That's the reason the current directory has been removed now. Now if I get back to my dashboard, and you can see that Jenkins is actually providing me a very good stage overview over here, that what are the stages that your project is actually being executing and how the progress looks like. So this is the checkout happened, then we cloned the project, build the project, it took 1 minute 13 seconds, and finally the declarative post action has been executed, right? So that's all for this session. So as part of this session, we learned that how we can configure and execute our declarative pipeline project on our Dockerized Jenkins container, right? So thanks for watching.